Hello, my name is Ann-Margaret and I am an artist and a writer and a photographer. And if you have followed my page long, then you know all those little details about me. And I have an adorable Westie named Cooper and a sweet husband. And I love spreading and finding Kaylee joy. And so I find tons of it when I am doing, and Kaylee joy is all about, it's in honor of my precious niece, Kaylee. And you can find more about that on my page and blog. But anyway, today I want to show you about this adorable journal that I made, and it is a Caotic craft journal. And the sweet ladies, Maria and Olga, they you can find it under made at home things, and also Caotic journal. But they create Caotic journals. And what is a Caotic journal? Well, my definition of it is a journal that is just, it's not perfect. You don't have to worry about the stitches and the seams and everything being perfect, because we are just creating chaos, and it's just adorable and it's cute, and we are letting any thoughts of perfection totally fly out the window, and just gonna be as this the perfect thing I thought to go on here was wild and free. So that's what this is. It is a wild and free Caotic craft journal, and craft because all the pages inside are mostly craft paper, and that a lot of them will be paper bags and paper that's come in like Amazon boxes, packaging and stuff like that. So do not throw those things away. You can totally use those. But anyway, you'll see I did even some hand stitching on this, and sewed it with my sewing machine, but this did not turn out quite like I wanted it to, because I do not measure things. That was one of my things when I started using my granny sewing machine, and then when I got another sewing machine as well, I said I'm not measuring stuff. I love to eyeball it, and but actually that was not exactly what happened with this. It was just kind of crazy. Something happened with the fabric. So, but I love it because that just makes it even more chaotic with the hand stitching and all the details and everything. So this was a little piece of fabric that I dyed with tea, or stained with tea, and then also the coffee filter. And these are flower rosettes. Not flower. These are paper rosettes, and I ended up painting them. And I'll do a little tutorial sometime about those, because if you followed me for long, you know that I'm always saying, oh, you gotta have a rosette. Just put a rosette on it. So I have been making those for a long time, and out of fabric too. But love adding them on my journals and inside of them. And this girl, I probably painted her back way before Christmas on this little card. And she, of course, has a cute rosette in her hair, and she loves creating joy every day and finding it. And she longs to be wild and free with her art and her heart, and to always be blooming and always look for something that's blooming, because definitely there absolutely is. Joy is blooming if we look for it. So, and none of it was planned. So, you know, like I said, I'd done her way back, way before Christmas, and then, you know, everything just kind of started coming together when I started thinking about I wanted to do this Caotic craft journal with them. So let's open this up and see the inside of it. Now, usually a lot of times in some of them I will put a pocket here and possibly one in the back, but I ended up not doing that on this one. That's okay. I didn't really think I wanted one on here, but you will see all of the yummy pages that are already, it's, you know, nice and chunky, and there are 3 inserts in here. And a lot of times when I'm doing a journal, I do not attach my inserts inside. And the reason I really like for them to be loose while I'm working on them, what I will do is, and I'll show you some other journals I'm going to start sharing more and showing you some of those. But a lot of times I'll do them like maybe, as you see, a traveler's notebook with the inserts, and I'll put the little elastic band, or I'll even just use a ribbon and have an insert and find the center and tie it in and let the ribbon hang out and all. Or, you know, sometimes while I'm working on them, I just keep them loose in there. I'll keep one insert folded, and I can take it out and work on things. And the reason I like to do that is because then it makes it really easy for me to add a lot of stitching with my sewing machine. And you can still do that, of course, when you have them already bound into the book, sewed in. But it makes it a little bit harder because, you know, it's getting really chunky, and you're trying to get this up under your sewing machine. And Olga she and Maria are just geniuses at that. Olga will just take her book and just shove it in her machine, and it doesn't really seem to give her as many problems as it does me. But I decided, okay, I wanted to do exactly how they were doing it, and they had stitched in their inserts, and so you know what, this time I'm going to stitch the inserts in too. So I did that, and even though I was trying to avoid perfectionism, which of course it was not achieved anyway, no way, I did end up, just couldn't resist, had to take this out about 3 times, or possibly 5, and get it in there, because one time it came over like this, because you're trying to hold all this up to get it in the machine. So but anyway, I'm excited that they are in there. So this, I'll just run through some of the pages. These pages are probably a paper bag, and this one was stained with a little bit of tea. And then that's just, I love keeping bags from Starbucks and cute little pastry shops, because you can just do so much with them, and they're really fun to add in little, you can use them as little hiding spots for cute little cards, little affirmations, or things you want to pull out for yourself. And they are adorable for that. So these are just different papers that I have. Again, craft paper, paper bags, and these, I love having all the different sizes of papers in here, because then you can take a cute little card or something. This is a sweet card my sister had sent me with something at one point, and you could stitch this on this little piece, and it just adds, they're so, it's so cute to have. I love having different sized pages in it. And the craft paper I love so much. Always loved working on that, because white looks so neat and pretty on it, and colors really pop on the craft colored paper. So it's going to be a lot of fun to create in this this journal. And as you can see, I really have not started adding anything to these pages, and so that's what I'll start doing now. I just wanted to be able to show you how it looks when I first got all these inserts in here. And I'll, take a little bag like this, and I may put a little swatch of gesso on there, and then paint one of my cute whimsical girls with a little message, and pop a little rosette on it, or stitch a little ruffle or something on the side. And there's so many things that you can do with these pages. So I'm so excited. I love all the texture of papers like that I've just crumpled up and added some paint to, adding in cute little scrapbooking papers. We probably all have those hanging around that we can use. And this one, I just took a little bit of paper bag and stitched it on the back for kind of a cute little border on that. And I love, 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 if you see my post I did about envelope, I love painting on envelopes, and I love using them in my journals, because they add just a unique little touch, I think, in this little bag. Scrapbooking paper. And then here's a little bag. This card, of course, is too big, but you could have a sweet little note that you tuck in there, fold up and put inside. And then you can, you could use a safety pin or cute little clips or something to even, clip your little card on, or an affirmation or a favorite verse or something like that. So this page had, this was an insert I had to take out a couple of times, so I ended up putting just a little bit of washi tape on there, because it started ripping. It was quite fragile. It's from my old book. And then it's just, some stitching, just putting some stuff, starting to layer some things. These, little bags that we have cards and different ephemera things that come in, they're perfect. Don't throw those away, because you can stitch on them, and even if it tears or something, you can just stitch it with your sewing machine. So you can put a little personal note in there, and then just tuck it back in the envelope. This is an envelope I got a card in from somebody. And then, maybe if I found some feathers on a walk with Cooper or John, my Kaylee Joy, I can stick those in there and see them, and I might want to put a little note about when I found them, or where I was, or why they seemed special, to me. Of course, I was in too much of a hurry to not, I guess, let that dry. But this, I love using napkins in my artwork and in my journals, and then just going over with gesso and letting some of the images and colors peek through, and a lot of yummy texture there. And then sometimes I'll take the pages and just do them like this, so get a little bit of gesso or paint on this other page, and go ahead and start your building up some layers. And that is probably, this paint stain I got on my finger. Actually, I had done this way back, but last night I was staining a couple of things and realized that would not come off. Let's see what else. So I love using book pages, and they always go really nice with the craft paper. And so this, again, you know, you can pin little cards and things on here, and you can write little notes and then fold it over, and it kind of makes a little, you know, secret spot in there. So just, you know, anything, crinkle up the pages, and just here's an envelope just waiting for something to go into it, and already texture, you know, on that. And so then I'll build on these pages with more paint and stitches and some of my favorite thoughts and verses, photos. You're going to see a lot of my fun photos in here. So I'm always snapping pictures. And this was just a paper bag that I had crumpled up, and then I love that little flower, put that on there. This is actually, that'll get taken care of when I start adding layers onto this. But this was just packaging paper that was, you know, in some kind of box or something. And more fun scrapbooking paper, and so just all sorts of things that you can, when you start looking for craft paper. I was so excited because when I started trying to think of things besides just paper bags and actual craft paper, I just started finding neat little things that I could add in. And I love, love, love this. You know me, I love birdies. They have a very special place in my heart, and that I can't wait to put probably favorite verse on there, and one of my photos that's really special. So so all of this, there's just all of these, again, more texture and paint, and I'm so excited about adding layers to these pages. And just, this is just going to be a journal where I work in it, just, you know, when maybe I've got a lot on my mind and I just want to be carefree and remind myself to, I love this sweet little card, just to try to breathe and find the joy, and just be carefree, wild and free, as the front little tag says, and just enjoy playing in this journal and adding hand stitches and paint and just all kinds of things. So I'm really excited to work in this and to create joy in it, because let me tell you, girlfriends, there's always some joy to be found if we look hard enough. And some days I know we feel like there is no joy, and maybe it's a really tough day, but I encourage you, create your own joy. So do something that you love. Maybe it's quilting, sewing, painting, maybe it's baking, you know, baking for your sweet family, or a new healthy cake recipe like I did the other weekend for your hubby. And you can create your own joy. I promise you, you can do it. So grab a cuppa and take some time just to savor a few moments today and find the joy and reflect on the joy that you may have missed this week, or that really touched your heart. So I hope you enjoy your day, and thank you so much for your interest in this journal and all your sweet comments and notes when I posted the photo about it. And stay tuned, because I am going to be showing you all along. I'm going to do little clips of me working on these pages. So already chunky now, and I just can't wait to see more strings hanging out and rosettes peeking out and fun photos and things to fill this up. So please stay tuned, and I hope if you love journaling, or maybe if you haven't ever done journaling, I encourage you to maybe, you know, there's so many things that you have around your house that you can play with, that you can create a journal. I promise you could totally create one and not even have to go to the store if you had not ever even done this. You might if you don't paint or things like that, but these journals are also really good. I'm going to be sharing some things with you for taking notes of things you want to do, or your to-do list, or things you need to work on, or ideas you have about your dreams or your business, or, you know, whatever. So I'm going to be showing you about a new planner that I am working on, and that's going to hold all kinds of good stuff like that. So stay tuned, enjoy your day, and I'll be back soon with some more rosettes to show you and fun journaling. And I so appreciate you hanging out with me and taking a peek at this fun journal. Okay, ciao for now.